And he's ready to go home. Yeah? You ready to go home? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Well guys, welcome back to Sam's Life with a Husky. We are actually at the pet supply right now and we are getting ready to give this one a bath. Now in all actuality, I was totally going to time lapse this for you, but yeah, I forgot my tripod. So I'm not going to time lapse it for you, but here is his before. He's very, very floofy. He is a little dirty. He's shedding like crazy, so it is time to do the bath. So let's see what we can capture, and yeah, you'll see his after. Stay tuned. Well, there he is. A little unhappy, but he is all done. He's not 100% dry. We usually get him about, I'd say 80 to 90% dry. An hour and a half later-ish, somewhere in there. And he's ready to go home. Yeah? You ready to go home? Yeah. Okay, here we go. Well, it has been multiple days since Ghost had his bath, and I recorded this once already, and I did not like it. It was very muffled because that air conditioner was actually running and my microphone was picking it up way more than I expected. So I am out here recording it again. Ghost takes me roughly about an hour to an hour and a half to bathe. I always like to make sure I double check his coat to make sure all of the soap is out, because it'll look like there's no soap when in actuality there is down towards his skin. So I always do a double check over to make sure I don't see anything coming out in the water, any soap coming out in the water. So he does take me a little extra time. What you also don't see in that video is in between washing and blow drying, he has to go to the potty in between, because otherwise he will pee on me while I blow dry him out. So he gets a potty break in between, which is hilarious. And there is a caterpillar on my plants over there. I will have to, it's a furry one too. Those are not easy. If you're not careful, they can actually throw their spines at you. So anyways, sidetrack, squirrel brain. So he was done. He desperately needed to be done. He was shedding like crazy, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to give him the bath. And he's still shedding pretty bad. So I'm not too sure why he is still shedding so bad. It's the middle of the summer. He should not be shedding like he's blowing his coat right now, especially with as much grooming that I give him every week. Like, I brush him on a weekly basis because there's so much fur and because I don't ever want him to get matted. It's just easier to keep up with. One of the things that I have noticed, which is normal, is when I bathe him, you can never get him 100% dry. It is, for him at least, it's impossible because he gets very impatient. He gets fed up. He's done. He wants out. He hates being brushed. So that's one thing that he's just never enjoyed. He's the first dog in my life that I've had that does not enjoy being brushed. So it's a little frustrating sometimes because when I finish blowing him out, he's mostly dry. He's about 80% dry, like I said. And so I do put the brush through him to make sure there's no knots that don't turn into mats. And then he's usually completely dry by the next morning. So I'm not super worried about it. My goal is to dry him out most of the way so he's not sopping wet for 2 days straight, because that's not good for his skin. He is definitely still shedding a lot. I actually was just petting him and got a huge clump off of him, and I brushed him yesterday, but it's too hot for me to bring him out here to brush him, so I'm actually going to go inside when I'm done with this and use my grooming vacuum that I have. It has a grooming element that's attached to a vacuum hose. I got it for $100 for a deal. That particular one is normally $200. I got it half off. I got it on one of those Amazon Lightning deal things. But he's still shedding a ton. He's beautifully white. I love it. The only thing that I wish that Pet Supply had a different tub setup. I hate the fact that I can only be on one side of him to wash him and blow dry him, because of the fact that I've been to pet salons that have tubs that come out like vertical from the wall as opposed to horizontal, so you can actually get to both sides of the animal, and it makes it so much easier on your back. Grooming him is a lot of work. Like I said, it takes a couple hours, and the next day I was quite sore. I was actually quite sore that night, but the next day I was very, very sore. I actually ended up taking the day off because my shoulders and my back was sore from grooming him, because there's a lot of bending over that I have to do to get to his other side. He does come to the edge of the tub for me, but he doesn't stay there long, and then I have to hold him there to do his other side and make sure that he's rinsed properly. It's a whole thing. He's a lot of work. He's 85 pounds of fluff that I have to make sure is completely rinsed out. So he is beautifully gorgeous. He's a husky. If you don't want to deal with the fur, don't get a husky, because the shedding is nonstop. But I love him. So I do what I can to make him comfortable. The neighbor's grandkids are not happy right now. I'm sorry. I can't help that. But it's worth it. I like being able to take him somewhere where I can do the self-groom. I can't groom him at my house. He clogged my tub at, I think he was 5 months old when I groomed him the first time, and he clogged my tub. Yeah, I can't imagine what he would do to my tub now. Yeah. So, if you guys have watched this far, this is a very short video. It's way shorter than my normal videos. So if you've watched this far, I greatly appreciate you. And let me know what you think. Like I said in the beginning, I was not planning on videotaping it because of the fact that I forgot my tripod. But I managed to work it out anyway. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will talk to you in that next video.